A very good evening. It's nice to have with us here on Prime Time News, live here on News First. I'm Mahina Bongzo.
And I'm Nadim Majid. Now, the police used water hoses and wielded batons to break up demonstrations in the Maldivian capital Male in support of former President Mohamed Nasheed, now holed up inside the Indian High Commission.
We have a comprehensive report on this story, including comments from the spokespersons of the Maldivian police and the Maldivian Democratic Party, coming up later on in the news.
But before that, let's take a look at the news-making headlines tonight. The body of an individual abducted in a white van in Attanagala found in Ruanvalla. The President reiterates that children do not exist for teachers and that teachers exist for children. 17 Myanmarese nationals who were rescued by the Navy sent to the Mirihana Holding Centre.
Take a look at those stories in detail now. A resident of Velagedra, Attanagala, was abducted and murdered today. The body of the victim, Malit Niroshan, was discovered today in the Gongaldene area on the Nitambur Ruanvalla road.
After receiving information that a man had been abducted from Velagedra in Attanagala Nitambur, News First visited his home. While we were at his house, an individual informed that Malit Niroshan's body had been found. The body of 38-year-old Malit Niroshan, a father of two, was discovered in a rubber estate a few hours after his kidnapping. Police say that gunshot wounds were evident on the body discovered in Galbemma, Gonagaldenia, on the Nittamur Ruanvalla road. Live ammunition was also found near the body. Police media spokesperson SSP Prashantha Jayakudi said that the body was taken to the Avisavilla hospital and the post-mortem examination will take place tomorrow. Niroshan's family had lodged a complaint with the Nittamur police saying that he had been kidnapped by a group of persons who arrived at his house this morning. The family said the abductors were armed.
I didn't know what had happened. They said they were the police, and then they showed a gun, which was a T-56, I think. They took him in a white van. In the morning we went to the police, and none of these people were at the police. The police did not know either.
Last night at about 1, they came and took my elder brother, saying that they were police officers. 4 people were wearing civil clothes and were carrying T-56 firearms. The UNP organizer for the Attanagala electorate, Chandrasoma Saranlal, says that Malit Niroshan was a prominent UNP activist. Saranlal, who arrived at the residence as news of the killing came to light, said that Niroshan's sister had recently contested the Attanagala Pradeshiya Sabha election. This is not the first killing that has taken place in the Attanagala electorate. There have been several killings prior to this. However, up to now, the police have failed to identify who is responsible for any of these killings. The victim, Malit Niroshan, had been arrested by the police on several prior occasions. These arrests have been made on the basis of charges which include smuggling illicit liquor and personal conflicts. The police media spokesperson said that 2 police teams from Nitambur and Ruanvalla have commenced investigations into the incident. He added that the family had not mentioned in their complaint that the abductors had claimed to be from the police.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa issued instructions today that money should not be forcibly charged from school children in the future. Now, the President issued this instruction during the Ministry of Education Progress Review meeting, which was held today.
At the Progress Review meeting held today, discussions were held on implementing the 2013-2015 Mid-Term Development Plan of the Mahida Chintana. The President had pointed out at this meeting that since the government's intention is to provide quality education for children of the country, teachers and principals must also be dedicated to this cause. The President had also said that academic syllabuses in the country should be restructured in a manner which suits the country and through which employable people will be produced. The President had also emphasized the importance of making sports compulsory for every student. President Rajapaksa further pointed out that the ministry has responsibility to take disciplinary action against teachers who do not carry out their duties or who are involved in irregularities. The President had said that a principal has an even greater responsibility than the Education Secretary. A communique released by the Presidential Media Unit adds that the President has also issued instructions to expedite the formulation of rules to monitor and regulate international schools. Furthermore, President Mahinda Rajapaksa said that the ministry should take steps to properly utilize funds allocated by the government.
British media reports citing the British database for strategic exports control reveals that the United Kingdom has exported military equipment worth over £2 million to Sri Lanka. According to the database for strategic exports control, the United Kingdom has sold small arms weaponry, ammunition and various other military equipment. A statement made by a spokesperson for the Department for Business, Innovation and Skills said the UK government takes its export licensing responsibilities seriously and operates one of the most rigorous arms export control regimes in the world. The organisation notes that each application is reviewed on a case-by-case basis and added that the UK government pays close attention to allegations of human rights abuses.
On to another one of our headline-making stories. Court has ordered that 17 of the Burmese nationals who were rescued in the seas off the eastern coast of the island be transferred to the Mirihana Holding Centre. Chief Magistrate of Galle, U.S. Kalansurya, issued this order when the Burmese nationals were produced in court today.
The Galle magistrate also ordered officials to inform the Myanmar embassy to take steps to send back these individuals. The police informed court today that 15 of the rescued Burmese nationals are currently receiving treatment at the Karapitiya Teaching Hospital. The Galle chief magistrate visited the teaching hospital to look into their condition and thereafter ordered for the group to be transferred to the Mirihana Holding Centre. 6 individuals who were in critical condition when they were admitted are continuing to receive in-house treatment. Their condition is stable and I believe that we would be able to discharge them by tomorrow morning. When we inquired about the matter from police media spokesperson SSP Prashanta Chayakudi, he noted that the embassy of Myanmar has been informed about the group of Burmese nationals.
A soldier attacked and grievously wounded a patient who was receiving in-house treatment at the Akurasa District Hospital today. According to the police media unit, the soldier had attacked the patient with a sharp object at around 11:30 a.m. today.
The victim had been receiving in-house treatment at the Akurasa District Hospital after being assaulted by the soldier due to a personal dispute. The victim has been identified as 30-year-old Ranavaka Rachige Shantakumara, who is a resident of the Annasi Galahena area. Officers attached to the hospital police had seen the perpetrator fleeing the scene of the incident and had apprehended him. According to the police, a sharp object and a vial of poison that was in the possession of the suspect were taken into custody.
When I was leaving the ward after seeing my brother, I saw a person enter the ward. I was going to inform the police when I heard a sound. I ran back to the ward and saw that my brother had been stabbed. I saw the person trying to run away. I shouted at that moment and the people in the ward captured him. He had attempted to stab my brother in the chest, but because my brother struggled, he was only able to stab his hand.
According to our correspondent in the area, the victim had been transferred to the Mathura General Hospital for further treatment. Welcome back to the news. Moving on to our developing story, Minister Wimal Weerawansa alleged recently that the Secretary to the Ministry of Finance and Planning is involved in a scheme to destabilize the economy. Now, members of the government and the opposition have expressed their views on this allegation.
When a member of the cabinet is saying that a finance ministry official is incurring a loss for the country by failing to take loans for the country under conditions and is instead obtaining loans at a higher interest rate through an intermediary, then the government cannot disregard it. If this person is such a dangerous economic assassin, then Wimal Weerawansa should be able to speak of this in cabinet. What Weerawansa is doing is playing the role of a small-time actor in a teledrama. After all, who has given him a license to publicly criticize the secretary of a ministry that is represented by his own president? I am especially thankful to the Secretary to the Ministry of Finance, P.B. Jayasundara, because when a severe war was underway in the country, he made sure that the three armed forces received the necessary financial allocation. No one can level allegations at him. The only person who can level allegations at him is the Finance Minister, who is the President of the country. No other minister has the right to level allegations at P.B. Jayasundara. If there are any shortcomings, then it must be spoken of in Cabinet. No one can come outside of Cabinet and level allegations against prominent civil servants based on a personal agenda. They are mentioning the names of several economic assassins. They too should be responsible. Other than that, the entire cabinet are economic assassins. This entire political mechanism is an economic assassin. The entire political mechanism and the entire administrative mechanism must be held responsible for the breakdown of the economy, the closure of factories, and the loss of employment.
It's time now for the newspaper cartoon of the day.
Well, News First network of citizen journalists has been growing daily since the launch of our citizen journalism initiative, You Report. News First You reporter Pathum Madhushankar from Muskelia filed this report tonight on how the lack of proper lighting system at the Muskelia main bus stop is severely inconveniencing passengers. Passengers who arrive at the main bus stop in Muskelia at night have been severely inconvenienced as lights at the bus stop are not working. Light bulbs have been fixed at the bus stop and cables have been drawn to power them, although switches to turn the lights on and off have been placed inside the office of the main bus stop. At night the lights are turned off and the office is locked. Incidentally, this is the Sri Pada pilgrimage season. The large number of pilgrims who travel via this bus stop and other passengers are severely inconvenienced. Well, if you want to sign up for News First You Report, the country's biggest citizen journalism initiative, simply log on to www.newsfirst.lk/youreport. Join the You Report family and send in video and photographs of things happening in your locality.
In more local news, speaking at an event in Akurasa, Mathura today, parliamentarian Buddhika Patrana questioned as to whether circulars issued by the government instructing that money be collected from students would be annulled.
A week ago, when I raised a question in Parliament, they said that a circular would be issued instructing that if money is collected in schools, then the principal will be interdicted and investigations will be held. This was recently carried on television as well. You would have seen this. But yesterday, the President visited Sujata Vidyalaya, and in preparation for that, 350 rupees was collected to paint the school. What we are asking the government is, if they are issuing circulars now, will they annul previous circulars which instructed that money be collected? The parliamentarian made this statement at a community welfare event organized by the Samadhi Community Welfare Foundation at the Gangaram Vihare in Akurasa.
Motorcyclist dies after colliding with a train at the Nelumpokuna level crossing in Madampe. An individual knocked down by a train at the Kambrugamua level crossing. Two individuals die after a motorcycle collides with a train plying from Mathura to Colombo in the Habaradu area. An accident involving a three-wheeler and a train at the Kirimatiao level crossing. Accidents have increased because there are over 800 unguarded level crossings. Railways Superintendent. 45 rail gates will be installed at unguarded level crossings this year. Railways Superintendent. An individual knocked down by a train at the Walpola level crossing in Dragama.